noticed that some people just walk in the room and everyone's eyes are like on them and they just have the attention? Well, that's not luck. It's just energy and being magnetic. Hi guys, my name is Kadaisha, always Kadaisha, where I'm always Kadaisha and you're always you. So if you want to hear more tips and tricks about how to be your best version, please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will not take up too much of your time, and let's go. So the first thing we need to do before learning how to glow up to be the most magnetic person, first get your notebook and papers out, or notes app, because you're not going to listen to another video and just not write it down. Okay. So being magnetic. Okay. In my definition of being magnetic, people are like, oh, just be magnetic. Well, if you don't know what it means, how you gonna be magnetic? You know what I'm saying? Right. So obviously being magnetic is basically attracting lower vibrational energy and higher vibrational energy and neutral energy. Now we all are magnetic. You're magnetic because you attract stuff like a magnet. You're magnetic. If you want it or not, you are attracting stuff in your everyday life every single day. Your thoughts, your words, your choices, that's a magnetic field. So just know that being magnetic, you're already being magnetic. But it's about how do you want to be a high vibrational magnetic, someone that is attracting positive things. So we're going to get into that. So this is my first pointer of how to be magnetic. I believe being magnetic is more of a response than an actual energy. I don't remember what this quote was, but I'll put it up. And basically it's just, I think 10% is what happens to you and 90% is the way you respond to it. That's what I think about. No matter how high vibrational, how whatever, life is gonna happen to you. It doesn't matter. There are people that are rich, billionaires, lose their company in a second. There's people that are the most beautiful, most attractive and get cheated on. It's about the way you respond that makes you magnetic for you to attract more good things. But if you're sitting here thinking that you have to look a certain way, or like, of course it helps and it gives that energy, but it really is about the way you respond. So your magnetic response determines your magnetic energy. We have the water method, right? We all know the term glass half empty, glass half full. So if I look at this water and my response, obviously the water isn't filled up, and this is, let's say, this is my magnetic response. If I'm thinking about it in a very low vibrational way, what I'm gonna do is be like, oh, this glass is half empty, I don't have enough water. But if I look at it if I respond in a more positive way, I'm like, I have half of my water is full. I should be able to drink this, or this will satisfy me. And look, there's still some water left. The difference is you are looking at life in a narrow way. So when you are looking at it in a more magnetic, your magnetic response is low, basically you're not seeing all your other options. Responding in a more positive way, the options become more clear, and then you start building your magnetic energy. My second pointer, to be magnetic, you have to know what's going on with yourself. Try and figure your whole life out. We want to be like, oh, I want to do beauty, I want to work on my looks, oh, I want to work on my finances, oh, I want to work on my relationships, which all are great things. But when you're trying to focus on all of that, all your energy is being stretched out and you don't have enough for yourself, which makes your magnetic response a little bit lower than you would want. I would recommend focus on 1 to 2 things that you are struggling with and work on that. 2 main things that you want to work on. If I'll give you an example. Hey, I want to work on losing weight, and hey, I want to work on my finances. Don't worry about anything else. And the reason I say this is because if you just work on 2 things, the other things in your life will be fulfilled. So you're working on finances, you're working on your weight loss. Well, you're working on weight loss, you're getting more better in your beauty, which I'm not saying, you got to lose weight to look pretty, but you know what I'm saying. And then finances, you improve your relationships because you can do more things, or you improve your mental health because you feel better about your body, and also like it adds in. So it's gonna be added in eventually. So the second thing is with that magnetic response, see what are you struggling with. And then the third pointer, magnetic people are gonna give themselves love instead of hate or sabotage, because you're gonna mess up, like that's life. But what I mean by this is like, maybe your monthly goal is to lose 2 pounds and then save $100. Your weekly goal is save $10 and then try to work out or try to lose a half a pound. And then your daily goal can be working out 5 days a week. And your financial could be learning how to invest, saving $1. Another reason is you don't truly believe in yourself. And the way to do that is you have to start small. You got to believe that you can do it. So don't try to save $5,000. Try to save 20. I know it's cliche, you hear that, but I'm always going to say if it's cliche, it's true. So just listen. I always love to give a story time in my videos because I don't be lying. So I'm going to talk about my weight loss journey. So I have been a big girl my whole life. Like, I have struggled with weight for a very long time of my life. And it's really been recently when I've actually started to make the progress that I've wanted to. I've lost almost 50 pounds since then, so I'm very like happy and very excited for myself. But what happened? How did I get there? Well, the first thing is I realized what I was struggling in. What I was struggling in was weight loss, but another thing is you got to go deeper into that. Why are you struggling in that? And I struggled with it because I binge ate, and I binge ate because I was emotionally unfulfilled. So it kind of goes back to a deeper emotion. So that's the first thing. Then I journaled why I struggled. I came to realization, but I struggled. I journaled and actually talked to myself and like, well, what is the main reason? It's always a wound. It's always a childhood trauma. And then I came up with a monthly goal. So I was like, I'm gonna lose, let's say about 2 pounds a month, or like 2 pounds this month. And my weekly goal was I'm going to try to work out 5 times a week, eat high protein meals, something in that area. And then my daily goal was to do the practice. So like work out for 10 minutes and then, learn a little bit about how to be better with my body. But I started working out once a week or twice a week, and then I started to build myself. And now I work out about 4 to 5 times a week. I'm not where I want to be yet, but that just shows that being magnetic and getting that energy to grow is really within yourself, and it really is about doing the inner work. Because if you don't do the inner work, girl, it ain't gonna happen. Fourth is compassion and change. You have to give yourself compassion because you're gonna mess up. Magnetic people give themselves compassion. High vibrational magnetic people, they give themselves compassion. They care about giving themselves grace. So if you're not giving yourself grace, you are going to respond in a negative way, and you're going to most likely go back to your old habits. You need to respond in a positive way. And you don't have to be positive all the time, but more in a compassionate way. Like, okay, I feel this way, or I messed up. Because there are so many times in my weight loss journey that I messed up, but I continued and I became consistent, and I'm still messing up. But that's because you know on the inside you're human, and change is uncomfortable. The reason your mind doesn't like change is because it's boring. Some of it is. And also it's not comfortable with it. It's familiar with chaos. So you have to be consistent. It's gonna be uncomfortable at first, but it gets better. My fifth one is subliminals. Okay. I go to sleep with subliminals all the time, like the glow up ones. And I love affirmations. But affirmations, I don't like sleeping with them at night because I can't, it just doesn't do it for me, and it's loud, and I like noise, but not too much noise. So I listen to subliminals, and I think they're very helpful, and they've helped me a lot on my journey. So I think a first start is just to search up subliminals overnight and pick which ones you want and do that. So now I'm going to give you the starter kit. So what can you do now to be magnetic, like to attract things that you want to attract? The first thing is focus on a magnetic response instead of a magnetic energy. So the way you respond to things will determine your energy. So the way you respond, you can see if it determines your energy. Name what you're struggling with and why. So find 1 to 2 things, no more, I will say no more than 2 things, to really focus on why are you struggling? Like what is causing you to struggle, and go deeper. Journal about it. Talk about why. First of all, what's the issue? Secondly, why am I doing this thing? And like, what is the inner demon or whatever causing me to do this thing? Well, not causing you, because accountability, but you know what I mean? Like, what's the inner trauma that's going on? And then come up with a monthly goal, a weekly goal, and maybe no more than 3 habits of that goal. So a monthly goal can be like, oh, I want to lose 5 pounds. A weekly goal is, okay, I'm going to hit my gym goal once a week. And a daily goal can be, I will learn how to eat right, or eat 1 healthy meal a day. And then journal. Find 3 questions. You can use ChatGPT, it helps. So journal at night. Do a nightly or morning practice of what you're trying to improve, and keep on reflecting, because the more you reflect and acknowledge, the more your brain will understand and you start making a change because you are more knowledgeable about it. And then one thing that I want to add is a personality board. I did this, and a personality board is kind of like what energy and magnetic, what energy you want. So a magnetic board is basically adding pictures of what you want, like maybe Pinterest, like what outfits would you wear, what color would you wear, what fragrance scent you would wear. And then add the personality traits. What would this magnetic person be? And daily habits that can grow that energy. And I can do a little bit more deeper into that if you guys want that. But yes, that's really the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching, and love you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me one thing you're gonna do to be more magnetic, or what are you struggling in. All right, bye.